Picture this: you walk into someone's home for the first time, and something just feels right. The furniture is nothing special, and the walls are a safe neutral, but the rooms have a warmth you can't immediately explain. 9 times out of 10, it's the lighting doing that work quietly in the background. Most people choose ceiling fixtures as an afterthought, somewhere between picking a rug and deciding on throw pillows. But overhead lighting shapes the personality of a room more directly than almost any other single decision. If you're thinking about where to start, browsing traditional dining room chandeliers is one of the most useful first steps, because seeing how that one fixture anchors an entire dining space helps you understand the principle you can then apply everywhere else. Get the overhead right, and the rest of the room tends to fall into place naturally. Here are 5 ceiling light ideas worth acting on, room by room. 1. Anchor your dining room with the right statement piece. The dining room is one of the most social spaces in a home, yet it's often stuck with a plain flush mount that does nothing for the atmosphere. One well-chosen fixture changes that entirely. Sizing is everything here. Add your room's length and width in feet, and that number in inches gives you a solid starting point for fixture diameter. A 12 by 14 foot room calls for a chandelier roughly 26 inches wide. The American Lighting Association recommends that the bottom of a dining fixture hang 30 to 36 inches above the tabletop for both visual balance and practical clearance. The style you choose sends a signal too. Ornate metalwork and warm brass read as classic and settled. Simpler geometric frames read as modern and clean. Neither is wrong. The key is picking something that feels intentional within the room, not randomly placed. 2. Stop relying on a single light source. Here's something easy to miss: a single overhead fixture, no matter how good it looks, almost always creates flat light and harsh shadows. The rooms that feel genuinely warm use at least 2 or 3 sources working together. Ceiling fixtures are just the first layer. Pair them with floor lamps, table lamps, or wall sconces, and the room shifts from lit to atmospheric. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, lighting accounts for around 15% of the average home's electricity use, so getting smarter about how you layer can bring your bill down too. Start with the overhead as your base. Then bring in lower, warmer sources to fill the shadows. This works especially well in living rooms and bedrooms, where comfort matters more than raw visibility. 3. Rethink what's happening in the bathroom. Most bathrooms get a single vanity bar above the mirror and nothing more. It works, but it misses a real opportunity to make the space feel deliberately designed rather than just functional. When you start looking at bathroom pendant lights as a vanity alternative, the first thing you'll notice is how placement changes everything. Hung on either side of the mirror rather than above it, pendants eliminate the top-down shadows that make grooming difficult, and give the bathroom a hotel-quality finish that a bar light simply can't replicate. The National Kitchen and Bath Association recommends side-mounted lighting at or near eye level, for both task accuracy and visual comfort. Single pendants also work above a freestanding tub or in a corner of a larger bathroom. The effect shifts the room from utility to personal retreat. 4. Use the entryway as your opening statement. People form an impression of a home in the first few seconds. The entryway light is the fixture most responsible for that impression, and most homes waste it on a basic flush mount. A semi-flush pendant or a small lantern fixture signals immediately that the rest of the house was thought about. It doesn't need to be expensive. A simple drum shade pendant in a warm finish does the job well. What it needs to do is match the general direction of your home, whether that's modern and minimal or warm and traditional. For entryways with taller ceilings, a small chandelier or open cage pendant draws the eye upward and makes the space feel larger than it is. 5. Add a dimmer and change the feel of every room. This is the most underused upgrade in home lighting, and also the most affordable. A dimmer switch on an existing ceiling fixture gives you full control over the mood of a room without replacing a single fixture. The same dining room that needs bright light for homework or a board game can become warm and intimate for dinner by pulling the dimmer down. The same living room that works at full brightness for reading can drop to a soft glow for a film. The shift is dramatic. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, LED bulbs save the average household around $225 per year and use less energy with a dimmer switch, and you get both the atmosphere and the energy savings in one affordable change. How to apply these ideas room by room? You don't need to redo every room at once. Start with the space that feels most off when the light is on. For most people, that's the dining room or the living room. A practical sequence that works well: add your room's length and width in feet to find your ideal fixture diameter in inches. Hang dining chandeliers 30 to 36 inches above the tabletop to 90% less energy than incandescent bulbs. Pair dimmable LEDs. Swap your bathroom vanity bar for side-hung pendants for immediately better task lighting. Add one secondary lamp to your main living space to reduce reliance on the overhead alone. Install a dimmer on your dining and living room fixtures before buying anything else. Start with the dimmer. It takes under 30 minutes, costs less than $20, and you'll notice the difference that same evening. Frequently asked questions: how do I calculate the right chandelier size for my dining room? Add the length and width of your dining room in feet. That number in inches is your ideal fixture diameter. A 12 by 14 foot room works well with a chandelier around 26 inches wide. The American Lighting Association recommends that the bottom of the fixture hang 30 to 36 inches above the tabletop. If your table is particularly long, aim for a fixture that spans roughly half the table's width for visual proportion. What's the easiest lighting upgrade to start with? The dimmer switch. It takes about 20 minutes, costs under $20, and immediately changes how your space feels after dark. Start there before spending anything on new fixtures. Should I use LED bulbs with a dimmer switch? Use LEDs specifically labeled dimmable on the packaging. Standard LEDs and compact fluorescents can flicker or buzz on a dimmer circuit. The U.S. Department of Energy confirms that dimmable LED bulbs use up to 90% less energy than traditional incandescent bulbs. You get the mood control and the energy saving without any compromise. Can a pendant light work in a small bathroom? Yes, often better than in a larger one. A narrow profile pendant hung beside the mirror removes the shadows that a top-mounted bar creates, and the side placement improves task lighting significantly. Keep the drop short if your ceiling is under 8 feet. Even one small pendant beside the vanity changes the feel of the whole room. The detail most people miss until it's fixed. Most people assume a room that doesn't feel right needs different furniture or a new paint color. Lighting is almost always the overlooked variable. The 5 ideas above don't require a full renovation or a large budget. They ask for something simpler, a bit of attention to what's overhead. A well-scaled chandelier above the dining table. Pendants beside the bathroom mirror rather than above it. A dimmer on a switch you flip every single evening. These are small decisions individually, but a home where they've been made carefully feels more personal and more comfortable than one that's been heavily furnished but poorly lit. Here's a question worth sitting with tonight. Walk through your home after dark and look at each ceiling fixture. Which room makes you want to stay a little longer? Which one feels flat the moment you flip the switch? That second room is telling you exactly where to start. Subscribe for more ideas.